guys, Joe the Apple Guy here, back with another episode for you. For those of you new to the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you get notified every time that I put out any new video. For those of you returning, thanks so much for stopping by. So the last time I was on here, we were talking about predicting what was going to happen for the Apple event at the end of October. Everybody like in the industry, every technology and Apple pundit saying that looking at an Apple event at the end of October and all stuff that's going to get announced and whatnot. And here we are. It is October 28th. And sadly, that didn't happen. We were all predicting. Didn't come to pass, unfortunately. All that we got was, first of all, the overall, in one word, to kind of sum up what's been going on with the Apple in the month of October. Underwhelming. Very underwhelming. We got new iPad minis. They just kind of didn't put out a video. They just updated the website. New iPad mini. It's got the A17 Pro chip in it from the 15 Pro iPhones so that they can run Apple Intelligence. Really surprised that they didn't at least go up to like the M1 or the M2 to match with the iPad Air. Real missed opportunity, I think, to kind of future-proof for further down the line, to have not gone with an M series chip for the iPad mini and instead decided to go with an older iPhone chip, which is a little disappointing, but I guess they must have had a bunch of them sitting in bins. For those of you who don't know, when it comes to processors of CPUs in the technology industry, there's a practice called binning chips. So essentially, when these CPUs are processed, when they're made, they're not all, they all end up being kind of what they're kind of expecting. Some of them are work a little bit better, some work a little bit less. So they kind of grade them on that scale, and they'll put them in certain bins and allocate them. So this is supposed to be maybe like an M3 chip, but some of the transistors and whatnot are not operating up to snuff, so we're graded as something lower. That's essentially how CPUs get kind of separated and put into certain categories for companies. And in Apple's case, Taiwan Semiconductor that makes their chips. That's how they kind of go about. They bin chips according to how well they perform. And yeah, just surprising that they didn't go with an M series chip in the iPad mini. A little disappointing there. Then days kind of kept going, and we were waiting to get like an announcement or at least a graphic saying, hey, there's going to be an Apple event for the end of October, and like I said, it just didn't happen. Today we got new software updates for everything across the board. That's Macs, iPads, iPhones, and Apple Watches. Everything got updated. The only thing that they did is they just very silently and very covertly put out about a 10-minute video announcing new iMacs. And again, word to kind of describe the whole deal, underwhelming. They did put in an M4 chip in the iMac, which, again, they pretty much kind of had to at this point. And then a little bit of a change to the camera. They updated the FaceTime camera. I believe it's a 12 megapixel camera that's actually capable of doing like a desk view, which I have no idea how they're able to make that happen, but it basically looks like if you were to hold like a camera or a phone or something to record like pointing straight down. I guess the iMacs, which I'm recording on right now, front-facing camera can actually mimic that. I guess they're doing it in software, some kind of post-processing. That's pretty cool. We'll see how that kind of goes. I think it's only going to be available on these new ones with that higher megapixel camera. And then we also got the Apple Intelligence drop as well for eligible devices. So that's iPhone 15 Pros, and then every new iPhone after that. And then newer iPads and anything with a Apple Silicon chip for the Macs. So it's any M series Macs are getting this update as well. So essentially you did the update and you see the Apple Intelligence there in the settings. Then you had to basically go on a bit of a waiting list. For me, it took about 2 hours for it to kind of go through. And then did another little update, a little download. And now these devices have Apple Intelligence on them. And got to play with it a little bit. And again, word to kind of describe the whole thing, underwhelming. I get what their kind of approach is. They don't want to just put out everything if it's not all kind of working up to snuff. Stuff like the photo playground and all that kind of stuff, just nowhere to be found. So just some very basic functionality. You can summarize emails, dictate certain tasks and stuff like that. Stuff that Siri is already kind of able to do. So yeah, interested to see. I guess they're going to slowly roll it out over the course of this coming year. They're saying, by the end of 2025, most of the features should be available there. But what's really interesting though is a lot of these devices are being, especially the new ones coming out recently, their marketing has said, designed for Apple Intelligence, and then so a lot of people that bought iPhone 16s that said that those features just weren't there. So it's a big part of the marketing, and any technology journalist or person that's experienced in technology will always tell somebody that if you're going out to buy a product, don't buy a product that is promising things in the future, because so many companies and whatnot have ended up not kind of live up to those promises. And I'm pretty sure that Apple will be able to do all that they've said that they can do, but again, just buy a device for what it can currently do and what's actually capable of doing, and then if anything else happens after that, that's all just gratis at that point. But never buy any kind of product based off of a promise for features in the future, because that's just, you may end up getting disappointed. So a good rule of thumb there for not only for technology, but kind of anything in general. When it comes to like vehicles or any of that kind of stuff that promises certain things that aren't there when you get that, be very mindful of that kind of stuff and watch out for that kind of stuff. So yeah, and apparently with the Apple stuff, there's going to be stuff I guess tomorrow they're going to do another short little video, very much a different approach to what they've done last year in the past. So I'm disappointed they didn't do like an actual event, bring out journalists and everything to Cupertino or Los Angeles or New York. I think they did last year. They did a little thing in New York. So missed opportunity there to have like an actual Apple event. So I'm not sure why they're going with this approach. Maybe they weren't able to get something done in time, or there were some hiccups kind of here and there, or not able to get the right people, or who knows. But yeah, hopefully some of these other things will be a little bit more exciting. I think with the Mac Mini, we might see something kind of cool, because the big rumor there is that it's about the size of an Apple TV, which would be pretty insane to have a really powerful desktop computer just in a little device, and then you can use whatever you want for a screen, keyboard, and mouse, and all that kind of good stuff there. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the rest of the announcements will kind of be. I think MacBooks will be kind of predictable. Just minor kind of things there. That Mac Mini, I think, might end up being the only kind of significant kind of potentially wow kind of moment that could happen there. So yeah, we'll see what kind of happens. If anything else gets announced, I may hop on here and do another little video for you guys, or might even reach out to Jargo, my other Apple buddy, and maybe we can summarize things when things happen, if we're both available at the time. So no promises there, but we'll see if we can make that happen. And yeah, we'll see what kind of happens. And all I can say is that since there's no event, there's not going to be any kind of one more thing or anything like that. So again, missed opportunity. I would like to see an actual event, but that's not the way it happened. All right, guys, well, that about wraps up here for this time. And think differently. See you guys next time.